Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin. Apologies for a video not going up yesterday. I was literally up for 24 hours. I flew 1,500 miles. I'm now sitting in a very nice hillside house in Colorado. But in today's video, I want to go ahead and discuss this breakout here on Bitcoin. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about how I wanted to trade this last night. I had a feeling this was going to break bullish, and lo and behold, Bitcoin did go ahead and actually break 4% to the upside. I was probably going to leverage trade this. It would have been a nice trade. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it because I was busy with the whole sleeping thing. But in today's video, I want to talk about this bullish breakout, and I also want to talk about where I think Bitcoin is headed from here now that we've broken out of this long-term pattern. There's a couple things I want to update you on as well, since the video didn't go out in yesterday's video. And at the end of the video, I'll give you guys a little bit of an update about what's going on in my life. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I lied, actually. Guys, I do want to remind you that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you check the link in the description down below, then you can come and see what we have to offer. There's a $40 off coupon code called July 2019 down there, capital J, no space. If you guys want to learn how to do cryptocurrency technical analysis and be able to predict moves like this, because a 4% move, if you put 10x leverage on it, that's a 40x gain. 25x leverage, that's a 100% gain. That's a big deal. If you guys want to learn how to trade cryptocurrency markets, CT2A is a great place to do it. Check the link in the description. Now, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into the technical analysis, guys. To get started with here, guys, I want to kind of go ahead and catch us all up on what's been going on here with Bitcoin over the last couple of days. As you know, Bitcoin a couple weeks ago ran all the way up to $14,000, and during that live stream, we caught a 2,000% crash in 3 minutes. That was definitely an early warning sign that Bitcoin was in for a little bit of trouble over the next couple of weeks. And from there, Bitcoin has, of course, been trading sideways. We actually saw that Bitcoin formed an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a shoulder right here, a shoulder right here, and a head right here. We do have the neckline pointed in the downwards direction, so it is kind of a bearish inverse head and shoulders pattern. But things are actually starting to look up on Bitcoin. As you can see here, Bitcoin has this downtrending level of resistance and this uptrending level of support. And I wanted this to wait to break out before I made this video and wait for it to break out after I made the video, because I knew a breakout was coming and I wanted to trade this morning. But actually, while I was asleep last night, Bitcoin did break bullish out of this like I thought it would. And we did rally all the way up here to almost exactly $12,000 flat. If you guys will remember to the video the day before yesterday, I was talking about this level of $12,000 flat, how if Bitcoin goes up here, this is going to be the first level of resistance. I remember discussing this about how Bitcoin was either going to rally to $12,000 or $12,200. Both of those are previous levels of resistance. One of them is right here, and one of them is right over here. We want Bitcoin to get above $12,000, because if Bitcoin doesn't, that means that we still haven't set a higher high in motion, and that would actually mean that we're just in a rising, or otherwise known as ascending triangle pattern, as you can see on the screen right here, which means we did have a bullish breakout of our consolidation pattern. But it also means that we have to make another bullish breakout of the consolidation pattern before anything will actually come of this. For Bitcoin to restart, and if you want to say continue the rally that we've been in here for the last 4 months, Bitcoin needs to make a higher high. I've been discussing how Bitcoin has in fact made higher lows. That's very bullish. I'm happy about that. But for Bitcoin to be able to continue to the upside, the first confirmation that we want to see is for Bitcoin making a higher high. Bitcoin needs to break $12,000, so keep an eye out on that level. And guys, things are actually looking up if we look at our technical indicators here. Overall, Bitcoin's been trending to the upwards direction for the majority of the month of July so far. It's July the 8th, and Bitcoin's in general been making higher lows. I'm very happy to see that. I think that the rally is still continuing, and I am more bullish on Bitcoin than bearish right now. Let me give you some reasons why I say that. If we come in here to the daily chart, I want to show you some things on the MACD. You guys know I'm a big fan of the MACD. A lot of people read it wrong, but I think you understand that now because I talk about it so much. But either way, Bitcoin, as we can see down here, has had a change in the direction on the histogram of the MACD. We haven't had a bullish cross yet, so this isn't really confirmed, but I do want to bring to your attention that 2 days ago, we did have a change in the direction on MACD. And I don't remember if I talked about that in the video in the day before yesterday, because the daily candlestick wasn't closed. I didn't want to jump to any conclusions, but right now we can see that MACD is starting to curve back in on itself. And as you guys know, if you look in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you watch the MACD video, the way that you trade MACD is not necessarily off of the crosses. You want to trade it off of the change in direction of the histogram. We've had a change in direction of the histogram with Bitcoin having 3 green daily candlesticks right here. I'm very happy to see that. That is bullish for the longer term on Bitcoin. And overall, based on that and many other things I'm going to be showing you in today's video, I think Bitcoin is getting ready for a continued rally. I think we probably are going to be going back to $14,000, although it may take the remainder of this month. Of course, guys, you have to keep in mind, there is always the bearish case. There is always reason to believe that Bitcoin might not do that. You have to hedge your bets. You have to use stop losses. You have to protect yourself. I like saying that because sometimes people hear me say something like, oh, I think Bitcoin's going to rally, and then they just go and buy a bunch of Bitcoin like our friend Arrow Assassin 09, who put his entire life savings into Bitcoin, did. And he just so happened to come out green on that. He came out smelling like a rose, but a lot of people don't. If you were in the market back in 2017, you're buying up above 15,000. Tell people in the comment section down below how important it is to protect yourself and not do that. So keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, there are some other technical indicators I want to bring to your attention. One of them, you guys know, I'm a big fan of the 20 exponential moving average. Down here on the hourly chart, as we can see, Bitcoin was testing this a couple hours ago before the breakout, and Bitcoin managing to not fall below this in the same way that it had before was actually one of the things that broke us through that level of resistance. The main reason I'm bringing that up is because I want you guys to understand some of the technical indicators and some of the chart formations that go into a bullish breakout so that you're more able to predict them in the future. I was pretty confident this was going to break bullish because I think a lot of the bearish sentiment that Bitcoin has had here has subsided. Bitcoin is very obviously starting a new uptrend right now. We haven't confirmed an uptrend, but we're definitely at the start of one right now. If we confirm it, then we can start calling it that proper. But for right now, Bitcoin does seem like it's kind of shed a lot of its bearishness. The technical indicators are starting to look bullish. Bitcoin did bounce off of this 20 EMA, not only down here on the hourly chart, but also on the daily chart. This happened a little while ago. If you guys will remember back to about a week ago, Bitcoin did come down here to the 20 exponential moving average right here. And again, about 3 to 4 days ago, Bitcoin did, and Bitcoin managed to bounce off of that moving average both times. That's very bullish because, in fact, what that means is that Bitcoin never even technically went into a downtrend. The way that I define downtrends, especially, this works especially well in bear markets, is when Bitcoin breaks below the 20 exponential moving average, it's in a downtrend. Bitcoin never actually did that. So even though we had a 30% correction, Bitcoin never really went into a proper downtrend in the way that I would define it because Bitcoin got so overextended. Bitcoin rallied so far, it got so far away from the 20 EMA that we had a long way that we could retrace and still not really even put the rally in jeopardy. So the longer term outlook on Bitcoin is looking quite bullish right now. A couple other things I want to mention would have to do with the RSI and stochastic RSI out here on the daily chart. As you guys can see, stochastic RSI has been oversold for quite some time, ever since Bitcoin started retracing from up here around $14,000. Bitcoin being oversold on the RSI and the stochastic RSI for that matter does not mean that Bitcoin is in for a rally. A lot of people misread RSI and stochastic RSI and think that. That's not how you want to read those technical indicators. You want to look at them when they start changing direction. Stochastic RSI has not started changing direction yet, but since it is oversold, if it does change direction, it's going to change direction moving to the upside. Keep that in mind. Watch out for a rally on Stoch RSI, and watch out for RSI to continue moving to the upside like it's been doing here over the last couple of days. I like what the RSI looks like. I'd like to see that continue. Keeping with the theme of RSI, guys, if we look down here on the 4-hourly chart, what we're going to find is that Bitcoin actually has an uptrend on our RSI right now, holding us up. That is very bullish. I like seeing that. I want to see Bitcoin continue rallying here. In fact, the RSI looks very similar down here on the 4-hourly chart to what the chart looks like. We have kind of an ascending triangle pattern here on the RSI with our level of resistance on Bitcoin up there. Bitcoin, I want to see break above 60 on the RSI here on the 4-hourly, and I want to see Bitcoin break above $12,000. If we can meet those two criteria, and if we meet one, we're going to meet the other because those two are going to move together. If we meet those criteria, then Bitcoin's probably going to move up and break through 12.2, and Bitcoin's going to continue moving to the upside where we test $14,000. I think that Bitcoin has the fuel in it to do that right now, although I think we're also in kind of a precarious time because Bitcoin is looking to restart the rally. The rally never ended, but you know what I mean. We're looking to kind of reinvigorate the rally, get the rally going again. We're in a bit of a precarious spot. I'd be careful if you're looking to invest for this rally right now or doing a swing trade right now. Wait for more confirmation. If you're thinking about trading this, a good place to set a trade might be up here around $12,300 and then have a very tight stop loss on that. You could even put some buy orders up at like 12.5 or 1,300 if you're looking to hold that position for a long time. If you want to get a nice long on that with low leverage like 5x, so you have a large margin for error. If you want to do something like that, that might be a really profitable trade. Of course, guys, this is not financial advice. Don't go suing me if you make a mistake. I am not your mommy. You cannot go crying to me if you make a trade and it goes bad. That's your responsibility. I do want you guys to be safe when you're doing that. I'm saying that as a joke, of course, although I'm not joking about the don't sue me thing. I would be very annoyed if you sued me because you made a mistake. Either way, jokes aside, I do think that Bitcoin is going to move to the upside here. I do think that Bitcoin is looking very bullish. I think the technical indicators are saying that. I think the market sentiment is saying that. I think the people in the market are feeling that way. I think that overall Bitcoin has had the healthy correction that it needed from $14,000 so that we can continue the rally. And should we go above $14,000, honestly, guys, I think we're probably going to be at or above $20,000 before the year ends. Bitcoin has been looking extremely bullish. bullish. We haven't had major corrections, not because we didn't need them, but because we didn't need all that much of a correction. Let me rephrase that. The pullback that we're seeing right here is only a 30% pullback, but if we look back to 2017, right before Bitcoin ran up to $20,000, we had a 30% pullback right over here. This pullback was only 30%, but that wasn't big enough. That wasn't big enough to reset the bullishness on Bitcoin. We needed these 40% corrections like we had back over here and back over here. Right now, Bitcoin hasn't had that, but at the same time, I don't think that Bitcoin really needs it. I think Bitcoin is feeling pretty healthy. I think Bitcoin's doing pretty well. I don't think we need a gigantic correction. The bulls are very strong. Back then, we were at the end of a bull market. Right now, we're at the beginning of a bull market. The technicals, the fundamentals, everything is looking vastly better than it ever has before. I'm looking forward to the future here on Bitcoin. I think there's a lot of gains to be made. I'm going to be looking to make some more investments when I get home. But anyway, guys, to wrap the video up here, I will go ahead and tell you a little bit about my trip. I'm currently sitting in an Airbnb in the basement of a house of a very nice woman, and all around us are windows where I can see the mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. We have ponderosa pines sitting right outside the window, and I'm looking at it right now as I talk to you. It's absolutely gorgeous up here, guys. I've never been to Colorado before yesterday morning. If you've never been to Colorado, you should come to Colorado. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's a tiny town here, and there's 3 weed dispensaries. It's really funny. I don't smoke, but I find it very hilarious how many people love their weed down here. You know, I was thinking yesterday on the plane, maybe in editing, I'll have some of the footage I took from the plane put up here, like in front of the screen while I'm talking right now. But I was thinking about how crazy it is that it took the United States 200, 300 years to get out here to Colorado, but it took me 3 hours on a plane to fly from where my layover was in Charlotte, North Carolina, to Denver, Colorado. That is absolutely incredible to me. I find that so amazing. In the time it takes you to watch a movie, you can be halfway across the continent and flown 1,000 miles. Technology is really amazing, guys, and that's why I love Bitcoin so much, is because Bitcoin is revolutionizing a lot of the things that we do in our everyday lives. We haven't started seeing a lot of effects from it yet. Bitcoin hasn't really gone mainstream yet, but I know it's going to in the future, and I know you know that also, or you probably wouldn't be here. If you still need convincing, talk to people in the comment section down below. Join the Discord server with the link in the description. I promise you we can convince you what Bitcoin is going to do. I'm looking forward to the future here, and I'm so very grateful and blessed and happy that I'm in this space as early as I am, and I'm very happy that I can help teach you guys about the space, and I'm very happy that I can help teach my friends about the space and bring the gospel of Bitcoin to all who otherwise may not have heard it. But anyway, guys, before we do wrap the video up, I do want to go ahead and mention the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy again, guys, because as you know, C22A is what drives the business here on YouTube. It allows the videos to keep coming out. If you guys want to support the channel while also learning how to trade these markets and learning how to make money in these markets, because guys, especially if you're using leverage, don't use leverage if you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know what you're doing, especially when you're using leverage, there is so much money you can make in these markets. I was going to make a trade last night, and I decided against it because I don't make trades when I'm asleep, and I had a pretty good feeling that this breakout that we saw was going to happen overnight. I could have traded this. If this had to come 12 hours later or 12 hours earlier, I probably would have traded this, and I would have made about a 40% gain because this was a 4% rally, and I was probably going to trade this with 10x leverage. Bitcoin has a lot of money in it, especially with how much leverage you can use on different platforms. It's insane how much money there is to be made in Bitcoin, guys. We've run 330%. If you guys want to learn how to trade these markets and make money in these markets, there's only one thing I can guarantee you. I can't guarantee you that you're going to be successful. I can't guarantee you anything other than this. I can guarantee you that there's a lot of money to be made in Bitcoin. I know that. I know that for an absolute fact. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how skilled you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know how much effort you want to put into Bitcoin. I can't guarantee your success, but what I can guarantee you is the potential for success. So if you guys do want to learn how to trade these markets, a great place to do so is a structured curriculum like the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, guys. We have 33 videos in here, over 9 hours of content. With the sale running currently, CT2A is only $159. That sounds like a lot of money, but when you consider the lessons in this course, each and every single one of them, there's probably 100 different lessons in this course that could make you $159 in one trade. It is a very, very worthwhile investment. As I talk about down here in my bio, I fully believe that the #1 investment you can make is not in any cryptocurrency. It's not in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dash. It's not in anything. It's not in gold. It's not in silver. It's not in stocks. It's not in bonds. It's not in Lamborghinis. It's not in anything. The #1 most important thing that you can invest in is yourself and your education. And that sounds cliched, But guys, if you think about it, cliches are cliched for a reason. Bitcoin has a lot of room to grow, and if you want to make money in that, you're going to need to know what you're doing. So check the link in the description, use the $40 off coupon code to join us over in C22A. We've had nearly 700 people go through the course. We've never had anyone so much as complain about it. We had 3 or 4 people want a refund because they weren't ready to start moving into the life of trading, and they didn't want to put in the effort and the time. There's nothing wrong with that. No harm, no foul. They got their money back. If you want your money back, there's a full money back refund guarantee. If you feel like that you are ready to work in these markets, if you think that you can actually profit in these markets, check the link in the description down below. Join us. I know you will get a lot of value out of this because everyone who's ever gone through it tells me so. Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video from beautiful Colorado here. I will be back in my hometown. I almost said where I live, and you guys don't know where I live, so I'm going to keep it that way. I will be back in my hometown in about 10 days. We're going to keep making videos here. Apologies if the video looks a little bit different. That would be because we are recording on a laptop right now. My editor, Taylor, is actually sitting behind me, and she's going to be editing this video, and I'm going to be helping her with that and doing some training on her. Say hi to Taylor. Anyway, guys, like I said, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.